Save 8% off your order at TrueTechTools.com by using the Shop Talk discount code. Well, hello and welcome back to HVAC Shop Talk. My name is Zach Ciota, and this is the show. Now on every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday until the schedule changes. I have these neat new lights in my office, and they're set on yellow when I'm about to stream. There's like these LED lights on the other side so my family can tell. It was like a great idea. I forget, was that one of you guys on the show might have said that, but now we're going to go red because we're live. I like this. Hope it doesn't break soon. It looks like one of those things I'm going to break within a week, but I hope it's not the case. Thank you, J. Cato. Nice intro. I'm going to have to replace that intro because whenever you make videos on YouTube, you put music in them, and then the copyright algorithms come along and try to ensnare you, even though you legally purchased them from audioblocks.com. So my solution is, like it has been in the past, I'm just going to make the music myself. So you'll hear some guitar solos at some point, just guitars, and then whatever GarageBand has to offer, and we'll see what happens. As you see, there's my guitar over here. Just put some new strings on it. For those of you who play guitar, typically when I put strings on a guitar, you know, you have the bronze type ones, and you have the little silver ones, and this set was a little different. We got these off Amazon, and I wasn't paying very close attention, so I have 5 silver and 1 bronze wound string, which I've never had anything like that before, and man, I hate it. I like medium gauge strings, and these are just the flimsiest, lightest things, the bending notes to the nth degree type of thing. I also have Discord open. Looks like we have some new Discord people over there. Welcome to Discord, Nate. Plop down a picture. Looks like it's a little funny. It mentions diarrhea, but it's funny, so that's okay. We have a lot of guys over in Discord right now. It looks like 8 guys are online over there chit-chatting. I welcome you guys to go on over there. The link's in the description. But don't go to the show's over, you know what I'm saying? But you can go over there and check it out. Looks like we have Isaiah. We have Joe Shirar, I think is how it's pronounced. Shirar or something. He's Jewish, so I don't know how it's pronounced. We have Thomas. Thomas, what's happening? J. Cato, like I was saying before. We have Isaiah. So, guys, I asked you guys before the show if you wanted to play Skilled Trade Up tonight, and it was 100% until just like a few minutes ago, and then all of a sudden, it's 75% yes. Like, there's some people who don't want to play. So that's fine. If you don't want to play, that's fine. Whatever. It's okay. Actually, it's totally up to you guys. If you want to play, we can play. All Skilled Trade Up is, it's a game show. It's an HVAC game show, and that's right. They exist out there. HVAC game shows are here to stay. And I should say show. No S. That would make it plural. There's just one. It's Skilled Trade Up, and we win some great prizes. I buy prizes, you guys win them. That's how it's going to work. Joe says, I am a Jew and I'm proud. There's something like anti-Semitic about the way that he says that. I am a Jew and I'm proud. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I know Joe. Maybe that's how he rolls. He's one of them far right guys. That's Joe, man. He's a problem. You know, he'll be plucked off the internet before too long. I'm just giving him trouble. That's all. So, we can play Skilled Trade Up. I have some other stuff going on here. We have some holdover from some of the things I couldn't get to on the last show on Sunday night. Had a long conversation with Hunter from up there in Canada, and he told me all about a lot of the stuff in Canada that I have no idea about. How their regulations are different, and I have a story about our regulations here, by the way. But I was thinking about something. Now, I had a great conversation with him, but I didn't get a chance to talk to anybody else on the show. So I'm probably going to come up with like a time limit to phone calls. I'm not sure how long. I'm thinking maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll have to go to the next call because I think that's more fairer. It's the mostest fair that you can be is to limit the time with a fixed amount. So I think we'll probably do that. I'm not quite sure yet. So I don't know how we're going to keep track of that either. Set a timer on the screen. That seems kind of ridiculous. But I don't know. I like to make it so multiple guys can call in if they want to. Speaking of that, you can call in now if you want to. All right, that's the phone number. You can call in now. The show's getting kicked off. Hey, it's okay because I'm going to get into my talking points I had come up with. So if you want to interrupt it and call in, that's fine. That's what the show's all about. And speaking of that, I'll start my story here. And our chat's funny. You know, if you don't get to watch this on YouTube, you listen as a podcast, you should check out the YouTube every now and then because it's pretty funny. So, I'm doing this job, and this is the story here. Now, I'm getting into the story now. I'm doing this job, and the job is pretty much finished except for starting up one of the systems. I've started up the upstairs system. It's chock full of R422B and chooching along like a bad boy. Did I say that right? I don't know. Who cares? The downstairs system, I just finished the ductwork on it. I released a video like yesterday or the day before, something like that, showing some of that work there. So I finished that. The inspector came by today, and the inspector said, this job passes. I'm like, great. That sounds great. Except, oh no, but there's a but. There's a but on it. There's always a but with the inspector. It says, you need to do a duct leakage test. And I'm like, no, that's wrong. That is wrong. In our area, you do duct leakage tests on all new ductwork. That means everything from A to Z is new. But if it's not new, if it includes existing ductwork, they do not require a duct leakage test. Now, I don't know what it's like in your neck of the woods out there, but here, that's how it has been the last several years. And I pride myself on making sure there's one piece of existing duct so I don't have to do the duct leakage test because, and I'll get into why my rationale for that. I think it's a waste of time anyway. Don't hate me for saying that. I think it's a waste of time. So this guy's like, you have to do the duct leakage test. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I'm going to call somebody that I trust more than this guy. So what I did was I called the lead inspector for New Hanover County, which is Wilmington, North Carolina. It's our quote unquote big city nearby. And I called this guy because I've called him many times years before with any code questions that I would have. So I called him up, I left him a message, and he called me back. He's like, I posed a question to him again. I said, so what do you think of this? Is this something that they require? And he's like, no, they don't require that. The other inspectors at the office in the area where this job actually is taking place also said no. It was just one inspector that happened to come to the house that said yes. And that's something that you run into out there. There'll be an inspector. And it's like any other book in the world. Even the code book is like any other work of literature. They will manipulate it and read things into it that are not necessarily code. I know I've gotten to discussions before. There's inspectors sometimes that will pull out a code and say, well, this is against code. And we're sitting there like, I'm not sure if it is or not. And we don't have a book with us. Everyone's supposed to have a book. If you're an installer, if you're meeting an inspector, you should have a book with you. No one does. But if you did, you would probably get out of some jams where you could say, well, that's not technically what this says that you have to do. There's been a few of those instances before. We used to have one employee back when I worked with my father like 15 years ago, and he would just challenge him on everything. It's like he had fun with it. And I kind of enjoyed watching this guy because it's like, who is this guy who doesn't care about challenging inspectors all the time? Now, I've argued with him before because of a temper problem, but this guy has more of a calculated, articulate discussion with him. And he would win some of the discussions, like show me in the code book where it's at. He says, well, installation instructions for the actual equipment will trump this code. He says, well, here they are in the installation instructions then. And he would have the information there. And this wasn't any all-star HVAC guy. I just think he liked arguing with people. It's great. And Joe says Zach got him fired. I wish he was fired. I already don't like this guy. I do one job a century and I get this guy, you know? So, and you know what's funny? And just honestly speaking, people have these duct blaster tests. And I was talking to this inspector from Wilmington, and we were discussing duct blaster tests. He's like, honestly speaking, the standard that they put out there, if you seal your ductwork in just a decent way, whether you mastic tape or whatever, if you seal it in a decent way, it's going to pass this test. This test is not a big deal. The big deal is you have to hire somebody with this item if you don't have it. So if you don't have the duct blaster kit, which last time I checked cost a lot, at least a couple grand. I think the set I looked up, because I watched a retro tech video today, and the duct blaster kit, which actually a cool video because they were using it as a flow hood. It's pretty neat. Pretty interesting stuff. But the kit without the manometer was like $2,000. So the manometer is like several $100. I was like, well, I'm not buying this thing for one job a century. That doesn't make any sense. But you have to hire a company to do it. Then that company is going to come along and charge you $300 or $400 a pop for this useless crap. So that's the problem I have with that. That's fine. Whatever. That's fine. Okay. So I asked, should we play Skill Trade Up tonight? There's 15 votes. 80% say yes. 20% say no. So I will go ahead and tell you this. We can have somebody call in. I want Joe to call in. That's what I desire. I desire for Joe Shearer to call this show. That would make me happy. And if he will do so, my number's on the screen, Joe. You should have my contact information in your telephone, in your iTelephone, and you can call me and we can talk about all sorts of stuff. Joe Shearer says maybe you can do the test for other people. I think about it. You should call Joe. Let's talk about this, okay? I don't want to discuss it without you on the air. I'm just expecting you to call. That's what we should do, okay? I want Joe to call this show. Until Joe calls, we talk about his duct blaster thing. I'm going to bring up some other stuff here. I think I had some information. We had a comment the other day I didn't get to in the under $400 vacuum video I did recently. It says best HVACR vacuum pump under $400. Penn Construction 101, I assume that's what that means. Penn Const 101 said spend $180 on a True Blue vacuum rig and get a $160 pump from Harbor Freight. You'll get home faster with way deeper vacuums and have time to spend that side money. You know, I tend to agree with this guy. If you're going to spend big money, you might as well have the rig, because the rig is going to give you that speed. Without the rig, you're never going to get the rating of the pump through. And what I mean is small hoses, you don't get that CFM through the small hoses. So you're going to have larger hoses, like the 1/2-inch hoses, 3/4-inch hoses. And I really think you probably have to have 3/4-inch hoses to get that full CFM through on those larger pumps. And you still might not be able to, depending on whether you're one hosing it or two hosing it. I'm not sure. But I don't know about the $160 Harbor Freight pump. That seems like better used as a backup pump. But it would be nice to have that nice rig. Maybe you get the True Blue hoses, or you get a couple Appion hoses, or just anybody's 1/2-inch hoses. Everybody makes a pretty good 1/2-inch hose out there. Oh, looky, it's Joe. Let's hold on with this conversation. My friend Joe's calling. Hello?
Hey.
Wow, you sound so excited.
I'm just exhausted.
Oh man, I made you call when you're exhausted. What'd you do today?
Well, we started a job at a kind of basically a full cut-in, but it won't be too bad because the people are not really living there. So we spent about half a day there, and then caught 3 service calls after that.
Oh wow! So what time did you get home?
About 6.
Oh, that's not too bad. Okay, so you're pretty tired, Joe. Been worn out.
Yeah.
Man, is that pretty typical for you? Because full cut-in, that's a lot of stuff.
Oh, doing a full cut-in?
Yeah.
No, it's not typical.
Would you please describe for those people who may not know what a full cut-in means?
Full cut-in means putting air conditioning in a house that's never had it before. But this house actually had it in the crawl space, had a package unit, but it's getting remodeled, so we're going all overhead. But basically means doing everything in an existing home, which is actually more work than even new construction, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Well, definitely is,
Absolutely.
You gotta, yeah.
The older it gets, the worse it gets.
Yeah, but this contractor guy's, he's one of a kind, man. I'll tell you, because he'll help me. He'll cut in all the boots, and stuff like that to help. So it's pretty awesome.
That is nice. What kind of material are you cutting through?
Man, this thing's is probably, I don't think it's the plaster and lath or anything where you have to cut through the metal screen, but it's definitely probably. Well, it's got all these little it's got all these little. I don't know if you call them furring strips or running boards. So you've got a layer of maybe like 1x1. It seems like it's bigger than 1x2s. It must be like 1x3s or 4s. Because remember, this house is so old. Before like modern dimensional lumber.
Some rough cut stuff.
Yeah. So you've got that, and then you've got a layer of sheetrock, maybe 2 layers of sheetrock. Who knows, right?
Oh my gosh, it's a firewall.
No, it's probably just like, let's cover the asbestos with modern stuff. You know?
Hey, remediated. We're finished.
Yeah.
Hey, it's better than hiring those remediation teams. I think I'd rather have, was it mesothelioma?
Mesothelioma.
Is that what it is? Is that what the lawyers
I'm
are
gonna
chasing
call
you for?
James Sokolov after this job.
Hey, all right. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's here to help. He doesn't get
You,
paid
loved
unless
ones,
you
have
get paid, Joe.
mesothelioma? Call James Sokolov.
Yeah, that's exactly the right guy. That's funny.
And after I call him, I'm going to call J.G. Wentworth.
You need cash now?
Yeah, it's like, yes, I'll take cash now. Yeah.
That's a trip. We watch the same late night television?
No.
That's how you started your business.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I have a $1.3 million settlement. Cool, we'll give you $200,000 cash now. Sweet.
It's like,
I don't know why I'm broke.
Desperate much? Bad calculation, bro. Well, that's not good, man. I really need them new gauges, bro. I need the money now.
Yeah. I really want a new Hemi Challenger.
Oh man. Oh, that's a good question.
Be waiting.
Hey Joe,
I can't be investing.
What kind of personal vehicle do you drive? I need to know this.
Well, I had a Chevy Silverado, but then when my dad passed away, he had a Harley Davidson edition F-250.
Ooh.
So I inherited that. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I didn't know you were such a good salesman.
Right.
That's impressive.
Hey, I ordered some white shirts. I ordered an American flag patch. And I'm getting out of the field, you know?
It's like you're checking boxes on a list. That's great.
Yeah. I'm like, I've got the Remy Halos on the truck. So, I'm killing COVID all over town.
Hey, Joe, how much is that Halo install running for customers?
Gosh, man. I can't even tell you. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
$19.99 for your Remy Halo or something like that.
$2,000, yeah. And it may last a year.
Yeah. Do you have to change these bulbs? Wah. Where'd he go?
Bulb.
You're covered. Wow.
You see light coming from this thing?
Hey, dude, how many UV lights are out there that have been burning for like 7 years or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, I've got a couple that, that were in units, and they're like still shining.
You know what they said is useless though. After like a year, they says it doesn't work. I don't know what the deal is.
Say, but it seems to still do stuff because I mean, it'll sure deteriorate the ducts and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's weird though. It's ultraviolet light, and the light's still shining, but they say it doesn't work. Are they trying to push bulbs on us or something?
I don't know why they would.
They're bulb pushers.
I mean, yeah.
Bunch of bulb pushers. What was I even going to ask you about that I called you about?
Well, you're going to buy the duct blaster test so you can make $1 million doing the test.
What do you guys got to do down there? Like if you finish this full cut-in, you don't have any of that.
No.
What is Florida's so much nicer.
It's like the Wild West down here.
It really is, though.
Yeah, so, I mean, we still use R6 duct.
Hey, we do now.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I was like, why? Like, Florida's so behind the times, I feel like something like, I honestly don't want as much red tape as in California with all that Title 24 testing and stuff like that. And even if they pass stuff like that, you get the companies who will just pencil whip anything. And that's the ones that all the companies want to call.
Mm-hmm.
Like a guy like you or me that's actually like, I'm sorry, your system failed. Your static's 1 inch and it failed. They'd never call us again.
Yeah.
They want want the guy who's like, yeah, we can make that say 0.5, and just take that filter out. Let's retest it. You know? Like,
Yeah, that's 0.5. Yeah, on the supply.
yeah. Oops, did my probe fall out?
Yeah. Well, that hold function works well. I can just take the hoses off and walk around with the same number on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how the
so,
Supco Mega Ohm meter was born. This is red. That's bad.
Yeah. Supco Mega O Duct Blastometer.
They should do that. It just lights up. Try again.
Yeah.
Go get your mastic. Oh man! Hey, I know in Florida though there is more regulation because I'm pretty sure I saw David Jones wrapping a air handler with insulation or something like that in a video. So we don't have to do that here.
Yeah, I told you that David Jones was at the symposium, right?
Yeah, I think you did tell me at Brian's thing.
Yeah. And I should have been more of a man and walked up and introduced myself and been nice to him for a change.
Did you have him sign something?
But I didn't. I was like, "There's David Jones," and I didn't even walk up to him and say, "Hey." I think I will next year if he's back.
I think you should. If you promise to do that, I'll go to the symposium next year.
You will?
If you promise to confront David Jones with a hello.
Oh, I'm not going to confront him.
No, just confront him with a greeting.
I want to, say, man, I've been kind of mean to you in the comments, and I just want to say, I'm sorry, but I still don't agree with bubble wrapping every air handler. But you do you, David Jones, you know.
You're all right, man. You're all right.
Yeah, he seemed like he was like, seeing your grandpa there or something, you're like, man, I've been really mean to you. That's not nice.
Hey, didn't you have some sort of thing you participated in the symposium? I'm flashing back in my mind. You're on like a panel or something.
Every year, ever since the start of the symposium, me, Brian, and Eric have done like a Ask Me Anything type. It's fun.
Melee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought for some reason I thought you were up there with Nathan with his shirt off.
No.
That's just funny. I mean, he's got. I don't know. Do you think he just likes to ruin Brian's stuff for fun?
Well, yeah. I can tell you insider information that is exactly what he likes to do. He just, Brian was very much wanted everything to go great and smooth at his thing, so the only natural thing to do is ruin that,
Well, it's
but
funny.
Also, he said that the guys that he was up there with was like the Advanced Refrigeration podcast or something, which I'm not too big into myself, but he said he just really wanted to help those guys out, really get them a bunch of views, and if that meant showing a little skin, then he was up for, he was okay to do that. So that's what he told me.
Wow, he's a giver. You wouldn't have known that. You thought it was more like troubled, but no, that's good.
No,
that's good.
He's like really wanted, just get those guys to the next level, whatever it took.
Yeah, he is a nice guy. He was on the show one time. It was fun talking to him.
Yeah. So you get to hang out with him and hang out with me.
Joe, I'd like to hang out with you. There's very few people. I'm be honest with you. I don't care about seeing too many people, but I would like to hang out with you, Joe. It would be nice to have Joe, and I would even like to hang out with Brian because I think it's fun to talk to Brian.
Yeah,
There's more people, but AK was there. I think.
Spread thin. He's a little super thin. He's like running around like crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's nice just to, chat, and even if nothing else, it's good for like the networking,
Like Tersh would say. That's what Tersh would say. I hope Tersh would be there.
Yeah.
I like him too.
Tersh was there a couple of years. I don't think he was here last year.
I'll make Tersh go. If I go, Tersh will go, just to see if it'll happen, I think.
You know what I thought? I want to talk to Brian and see if we can do this. Let's have like a MacGyver challenge where all you get is like a Leatherman and a meter, and we'll rig different problems and see who can like fix it with just a Leatherman.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
that'd be fun, huh?
that would be fun, but you know what the big problem with that is? The guy who like just totally screws that up. What if he's like a social media guy? What if it's me? Or what if it's like Brian? All of a sudden it's like, I've been watching this guy. This guy's an idiot. And all of a sudden all of your following just goes away.
Yeah, it could happen.
But it's worth the risk.
If you're like just pretending that you're really good tech.
Yeah. That's what YouTube is based on, pretending. Edit out the bad stuff, bro.
Yeah. Can we stop? Yeah. Cut.
Yeah. And after I turned the camera off, we got on down to 400 microns. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I would have shown that instead of 1300, but whatever.
Yeah. But guys, I know what you're thinking right now. But the camera battery died.
That's what I was thinking.
And I had to change it out. And then the customer was wanting to talk to me and couldn't film. But yeah, we hit 400, and
we did a full decay. Or no, we just didn't hit 400 and pull the hoses off real fast. We decayed it too.
Yeah,
it was great.
for sure.
So,
and it failed that, and I still let the charge go. So,
right. Hey Joe, it's like you're sitting there and it's like, all right, we're at 400. All right, let's shut it off for a second, see what happens. 450, 475, 530. Pull it off. Hurry.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Let's not shut it off.
Oh man,
spiking up really fast and not seeming to stop. You're like, okay, man, it looks a lot better when these valves are open.
Yeah, we'll just leave the pump on it.
All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and let the vacuum pump pull. Let's get all our gauges ready to charge this sucker. We're gonna turn it off real fast and get the Freon in it. That way, we got 400 microns.
There's some kind of logic feeling in that. If you did something like that, you feel like you're preventing the bad vacuum. If you just didn't see the reading, then it didn't really happen.
Yeah. If you didn't see it, then it was 400.
Then it never happened.
Right.
It never happened.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. I'm going to use this as a transitional point. I like to illustrate these things like I'm reading stage directions out loud for some reason. I can't stop. But I'm going to use one of my 20 questions for you. And then,
are we gonna play Skilled Trade Up too?
Would you rather play Skilled Trade Up?
No, I'm just kidding.
Joe,
if I get to win those Yellow Jacket cages,
no, they're not up for. I ran out of stuff almost, so I got to keep those. I have some prizes that are not as good, frankly, but it's
so
still
basically
free.
You're telling me you need the gauges to finish your install job tomorrow.
Hey, oddly enough, I need them to finish my install job and start this unit up, or I could start them up with the Z manifold like a rookie, Joe.
Yeah. So we'll play that. We'll play for those next week. All right.
Yeah, those will be next week, and then I'll go to all my sponsors like Oliver Twist and go, please, can I have some more, please? And we'll see what we can get.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of dignity. So, do you want to play?
Right.
Do you want to play? Or do you want to just answer one question and go about your business?
No, I'll answer whatever you were talking about. I was just kidding.
Okay. Well, I got it's a 20 questions thing. You're going to hear the theme music here if I did things correctly, and then I'll give you your question real quick. Yep, there it is. Hear it? You can sing along with it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is great. During the live show, I can really tell if it's too long or not, because it feels awkward if a music lasts too long. I think that was about right. That was okay.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I felt that's well
nice music. I like that.
I like that too for some reason.
It's
a little cheesy.
Era.
Oh yeah, like all the game show music on this web page where I bought music from, it's like it came out of like 70s. Like what was on what's that one where they spun the big wheel? The Price is Right or something?
Right.
Yeah, when it had the showcase. Dun 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 dun. Oh yeah, it's great. Anyhow,
right. What are we playing for today, Bob?
Well, we're not playing for anything. I'm just asking you a question, letting you go. You didn't want to play Skill Trade Up, remember?
Well, yeah. I'll call back if no one wants to, but
hey, you can do that. You sound tired, Joe, so that's why I decided just to give you the one question here. Okay, here's your one question. This is more like this isn't a trivia question. This is just you answer this. It says, have you ever damaged a customer's home?
Yeah, I haven't fallen through a ceiling. I haven't lit anything on fire. I have kind of cracked some sheetrock. I don't know if that was necessarily my fault because, the guy had like so much stuff stored up in the attic.
Yeah.
And some of it was like, how it's like, okay, I'm going to have to kind of like straddle this mountain of stuff to get over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
like, I didn't realize he had stacked some of it on the sheetrock. So I kind of put a little bit of my weight on the pile, I guess, and it kind of like, well, it busted a pretty good. It busted like the whole. It didn't fall off the ceiling, but the whole sheet kind of like broke through the screws and broke the tape and the popcorn. So it's like, shoot.
Oh, it's a popcorn ceiling too.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow.
But it was in a garage, luckily.
That was the worst thing?
So, gosh, yeah. I mean,
Dude, that's
I,
not bad.
it's not that bad. I mean, I can't think of any other time I like really ruined anything.
That's pretty good, man. Because I can think of like the times I've done stuff has been like huge damage. I mean, like I stepped through
Yeah,
a
I
ceiling.
know.
I fell through the ceiling. I mean, I went all the way down to the next floor below.
Wow.
It was a 2x2 ceiling. Someone didn't nail one of those, like those little 1x4 strips they put across trusses to keep them straight when they're putting them
Yeah.
in. Well, someone didn't nail them down. It's like it was just
Uh,
laying up there. It looked like it was one of those things. I guess it wasn't. I guess it was just sitting up there. But I hit it and I slid. I went straight down through the ceiling at a dentist's office. It was closed, thank goodness, because I was right above an examination chair. It would have been
well,
awesome, you know.
I sent you that picture when we were eating at Pizza Hut in Tennessee, visiting my wife's family on Christmas, and a guy falls out of the ceiling in Pizza Hut when I'm eating there. You know,
That's
what's the
hilarious.
chances of that happening?
It's really
You know?
low. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got to be.
It's like what would be worse is like falling through a Pizza Hut when there's like other HVAC guys there going like, ha ha ha,
Yeah.
rookie. You know?
Yeah. Go slap his foot while he's dangling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take his shoes off.
Yeah.
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 That'd be funny. Haha.
Yeah.
Joe, that's
I've
nice.
been real lucky, knock on wood. I mean, I do remember my brother was helping me recently, and we were doing a vertical change out in a closet, and it was hardwood floors. And we pick all the tarps up, and there's this gouge in the floor. And I mean, it goes. He's like, did we do that? And I'm like, I don't think we did that. How could we do that? We had tarps down. It's not like we drugged this air handler in here. You know, so I'm looking, and it is like a deep gouge, like literally, like if you just brought an air handler and on the corner and just drug it through the house. I was like, we didn't do that. How
That's
could
no
we
way.
have done that?
You would have noticed
Yeah.
something like that. That's
You
like
would
people who don't
think
care.
so, you know? And
Yeah.
so I'm like,
Nah.
I meet with the people, and I'm like, promise me that was there. And they were like, oh yeah, someone did that when they were moving. I was like, I thought so, because I started following that line, and it goes like around in a circle, and like, you know, like,
Yeah. It's right where we walked, man. I dropped a piece of
Yeah.
pipe from the attic, like round pipe, and it cut a circle into people's floor, like the vinyl.
oh yeah.
That was
Jesus.
bad.
Yeah,
It was embarrassing.
yeah.
I broke someone's vanity. I dropped my drill, and it broke the top of their vanity in half.
Oh,
Hmm.
wow, a glass vanity? Glass or something?
I guess it was like, I don't think
Oh.
glass, but it's like some kind of, I don't know what the material's
Stone?
called. I'm not sure. I don't know,
Yeah.
Formica is maybe what it is. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I forgot. I did stand on someone's chair to like reach a filter, and like I guess this is a long time ago, because like you don't stand on the little rungs on the leg, you know, like stand on the chair seat.
Yeah.
But no, I guess I stepped up on one of those rungs, kind of busted right through it. And I was like, oh, that was an antique chair.
It's grandma's chair.
I know, and I'm like, I felt pretty bad. And I think I told him like, I'll pay for a furniture repair guy or someone that took me up on that though, because I still.
Sometimes when you say stuff like, "Oh, don't worry about it," and you're kind of expecting that sometimes, and you get, "All right, good. I think it's gonna be 350."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I deserve it, you know.
Yeah.
I could always call Zach and tell him the story.
Yeah, that's what makes
Get
it all
some good
worthwhile. That's what makes life worthwhile, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can get out of here now. You sound tired, dude. I'll
All
let
right.
someone else have a
Well,
chance to
good
play.
chatting with you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate that.
You're welcome anytime.
All right, dude. Talk to you later.
Just summon me next time you want to.
Yeah, man. I will.
All right.
Bye. Good old Joe. You gotta like Joe. Good old Joe. Guys, you can call in if you want to. I still have some other stuff to talk about until someone else calls in. I'll go down to the chat here. Zach, can we have an Eastern North Carolina caravan to the symposium? We can get a school bus. Hey, we might need a school bus if my family goes because there's like 6 of them. So maybe, yeah. I don't know if I'll go. I don't really like these events like this. I feel like I probably should go because it's good for my career as a podcaster. Just like Joe said, you need to network. But, I don't know. I don't know, man. In fact, actually, take a break for just a second. I know we have... Well, hold on. There's a call here. Let me answer the call. Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Hello, who is this?
Isaiah, what Isaiah is there, and he.
Isaiah, I knew it was you. I'm just kidding. What's up, man?
Same old, brother. Yeah, I want to share a little topic with you from what Joe was talking about. I actually did the same thing. Almost fell through a customer ceiling a couple of years ago and damaged the sheetrock on the ceiling when I was about 18, 19 years old.
So you almost fell through the ceiling, or did you fall through the ceiling?
Yeah, I did. I managed to follow through when my dad caught me right before I went through.
So your dad was standing directly below you and caught you when you fell through the ceiling?
Correct. Yes, that's what he did. He caught me.
Oh.
But luckily the customer was a friend. She wasn't too bit. She was kind of pissed about it, but I explained to her it was an accident.
So you guys didn't have to pay for it?
No, sir, because I grew up with her as a kid.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, what else have you broken anything at work? You busted anybody's house in half? Did you blow up anybody's car?
I have busted a brand new set of gauges that I just purchased. Brand new S-Man 480s. I had busted them while charging up the system.
480s. Talking about high roller, man. Aren't those the nice ones?
And let me clarify something, because EPA is here. And Blue Air HVAC is here. My dad was charging up a system for a friend of his that was doing an air handler change out of it, and the gauge just busted on him. So, and that sucks too. We've only had him for about a week, 2 weeks. We had him at that time.
The S-Man 480s ruptured while in use?
Yeah, like the whole freaking front of the manifold was frozen completely with liquid refrigerant spraying everywhere.
So, Isaiah, are you commenting in the chat at the same time you're talking to me?
No, that's actually one of my trolls following you. The guy EPA, Zach, that's actually a troll as well.
No, EPA I'm familiar with. He's been around for a long, long time. That's the actual EPA, I assume.
EPA, that's actually, I know who the real one is. I'm not going to say who it is.
Wow, that's a lot of mystery in the chat. Okay, that's fine. They can talk about whatever.
Yes, sir.
All right, Isaiah. Well, I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna do some sponsor stuff, but I appreciate you calling in and telling you're going through the ceiling story,
welcome, brother.
All right, man. I'll talk to you again next time.
Yes, sir.
Later, Tater.
Bye.
All right, that's buddy Isaiah from down in Louisiana. He brought his trolls with him. Hey, that's great. The view count goes up. Thanks, trolls. Appreciate it. You can join my trolls in the troll refreshment area. I don't know if I have any trolls. I really don't care. You guys are all invited. I don't care how trolly you are. You can come on over. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of sponsor stuff. Let me see if I did this stuff correctly. Do our little sponsor bit for today, and I'll be right back. We'll take some more calls and have some more fun here. Workwithyourhands.com is a web page that hooks up people looking for jobs with great trade jobs. On the screen right now, I just have a few of the positions available in Durham, North Carolina. Service technicians, HVAC installers, there's some plumbing stuff, electrical stuff. Pretty much all the different skilled trades. Jobs are open all across the nation, and there's no reason not to take a look if you're looking to make a move. It's workwithyourhands.com, and you can find links in the description of this video to your next job. Our sponsor, NAVAC, is running a promotion from May the 1st all the way till September 30th of this year. And when you purchase a qualifying vacuum pump, you get 2 free products. You choose 2 out of the following 3. The NHB1 3/8 inch to 1/4 inch evacuation hose, the NHB2, the 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch evacuation hose, or the NVR1 core remover. So there's 2 really nice free items every time you get one of the qualifying vacuum pumps. You can find out more at NAVAC Global, and you can purchase these things at TrueTechTools.com, but use our Shop Talk discount code if you purchase from TrueTech to save 8%. This program is brought to you by Yellow Jacket, and this is the Yellow Jacket Wireless Refrigerant Charging Scale, part number 68864. Has a 220-pound capacity, a large platform. It's easy to carry, has a handle built in. I've been using this one for a while. Bluetooth connection. There's no screens on it. You just turn it on. It links up to your phone, and you can watch it from the YJack View app. A really nice and very durable scale. This is the 68864 wireless refrigerant charging scale from Yellow Jacket. All right, guys, that was our sponsor bit right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple links down here. One's going to be in the chat. And if you want to play Skilled Trade Up, you can do so. You have to have a camera. You have to have a way for me to hear you. So a microphone of some sort built into your laptop, built into your phone, whatever. I have to be able to see you and I have to be able to hear you. And you have to put in your actual name. So, all right. So I'm going to put that in there. You can also call in if you want to. That lines are still open. I'm not going anywhere there. We can do either or. So you can play Skilled Trade Up, have some HVAC trivia, or we can just take some phone calls. It doesn't matter. We've got about 20 more minutes left of this show, looks like. It looks like we've been going for 41 minutes. I'm going to try to do like an hour. We'll see how an hour works because I end up being like an hour and a half. And Nathaniel, you do have to have a video call to play because... I don't know, we had some cheating issues, and it's better if you're on video for cheating. Plus, it's nicer on the screen if you're on video, and you'll see the questions. Because if you're video calling me, you will see the questions, and that's going to be the best. But until then, let's see. You can also call. You can call just to talk. That's fine. Oh, we have someone calling just to talk. Here we go. Hello, you're on the air.
That's fine. Oh, we have someone calling.
Hey, Zach, this is Weaver.
Weaver, true believer. I did solve that problem that we talked about the other day.
Oh, did you? What was it?
I absolutely have to tell you about this. Okay, so for other people who are listening here, I was having like a buzzing electrical interference noise, and I had to solve this problem because I can't stand it. You know, it's just like anyone at work. You know, it's like if you set a piece of equipment, it's not level, how it gnaws at your brain, and you can't stand it. Well, I can't stand a little buzzing and hissing. So after the show, I don't know, a few shows ago, Dave called me and was kind of coaching me through some of the tips on how I could solve the issue. And one of those tips was to open up this HDMI and sever the ground part of the HDMI. Now, I mutilated a couple cords, Dave. I'm going to be honest with you. I opened them up and it was crude. And I ended up cutting, and the ground was green in this cord. So I'm like, all right, well, that's helpful. The ground's actually green. So I cut the ground, and would you know, it still had interference on it. So I thought to myself, what can I possibly do? Because I was so positive that I was going to do that and it was going to work because I've had grounding issues before. What I ended up having to do is on the microphone, my little like Rode microphone that I use when I make videos, I hooked it to the other computer and sent it over to the mixer wirelessly, and there was no more interference.
Nice.
So, I mean, it's kind of a weird setup, but I just, you know, everything here is weird. So, it's hanging on by a thread electronically.
Okay, well, hey, I had a little story. Now, this, I didn't damage anything, but scared the hell out of me. I was working at this data center. It was a very large bank, and the bank headquarters is in Pittsburgh. I don't really want to mention the bank. I'm retired, but I just don't want. But anyway, so we pulled out a Honeywell system that controlled all the chillers and for all the computer rooms. There were 10 large computer rooms in there. This is an up and running data center. And so we pulled out the Honeywell and put in automated logic to control the chillers and the boiler, the chillers, the primary pumps, the secondary pumps, cooling towers, cisterns, the whole works. So about a year later, I had to calibrate the Honeywell refrigerant sensors. Each 570-ton chiller has a Honeywell sensor, and I forget the model number, but they're about 1 foot below, and each chiller had a Honeywell refrigerant sensor. And before, when they tripped, it would shut the chillers off. So when we changed the control system to automated logic from Honeywell, I mentioned that, they said, yeah, they'd rather see those things burn to the ground to keep the computers running, because what happens once the chilled water stops flowing in the computer rooms, the servers will heat up, the doors will pop open, and once those doors pop open, because they're trying to save themselves, you got about 10, 15 minutes and the servers go down, and it costs the banks millions of dollars. So you can't stop the water flow for whatever reason. The secondary pumps were the most important thing in this whole data center. So So a year later, we get it all back, and they says, okay, yeah, just let the chillers run. When the refrigerant sensors go off, they'll buzz the people, all the alarms will go off in the building, but those chillers will still run. So it was coming up, it was night shift. I was there. There was only one other engineer working with me, and he was off doing something else. So I made up my MOP. A MOP is a method of procedure where you write out everything you're going to do. You can't do anything in the data center without a MOP, at least this data center. You write out what you're going to do, what you're checking, what you're going to calibrate, blah, blah, blah. The whole list, you send it in. 2 weeks later, they come back, say, okay, go ahead, do it. Night shift, 8 o'clock, I'm going to do this. So it's 8 o'clock at night in this data center. It was a weekday. And so I even called Pittsburgh one last time. Are you sure the chillers aren't going to shut down? Nope. We changed that. That's all programmed in, not going to shut down. Okay, walk over to the first refrigerant sensor. Now, in the chiller room, you got, I think there were 750 ton or 540 ton chillers, 3 of them, but 2 are always online.
Wow.
Soon as I hit the first one, both chillers shut down. The whole room went silent. I couldn't believe it. It was like, I just like died. It was just like, that was the whole thing, all the pumps, the primary pumps, the cistern, the secondary pumps, everything went off. And I freaked out. I went running into the control room. The phone's going off. The people from Pittsburgh are calling, what happened? And so then after about a minute, I collected myself. I'll go, okay, all right, know what to do from, previous, we go through all these scenarios, we're not doing anything, how to start the chiller. So I walked over to the secondary pumps, turned them on, went over the thing, cleared the alarms, got everything back up and running, had to answer for weeks, what happened, what'd you do, blah, blah, blah. I sent my MOP in, but it gave me a heart attack. I couldn't believe it. I thought I was going to get fired, but I didn't, because I sent my MOP in, and they found out that when they uploaded the new program, it was fine. It wouldn't have, but then somebody had an old program on their laptop, and when they changed something, the old program from a year ago got dumped in.
Oh my gosh.
Which had the chillers shutting down. So that was, costed the bank a lot of money because, of all the, not like the server shut down, but everybody talking, what happened, what'd you do? And there are so many people involved, from, the people that take care of the equipment, to the data center people, to the people with the servers, to the, the government has servers in there, and they know any problems that go on. We got to give them answers. And so it was just for calibrating a refrigerant sensor.
That's insane. And you called them right before. So, it's good that you called them right before, like checking, so it's fresh in their mind that you did check one last time.
Yeah, we always do that in the MOP. We would always call anything we're going to do, like if we're going to shut down a pump for, service, we're shutting it down tonight, we're ripping it out tomorrow, we'll do it, we always call, always Pittsburgh. And they go, okay, and they just jot it down on, I don't even know where they jot it down, but they mark it down. And I did that. Yep, going offline. Or yep, chest and refrigerant sensors, nothing's going to go offline. Boom, as soon as I hit that, bells and whistles, and there's like 10 people that get pages from the automated logic system that, and they started calling, get those secondary pumps running. So that's the first thing I did. And then we, cleared the alarm, and then got the chillers up and running probably within, half hour, 45 minutes.
That's a tense story right there, because that's I don't know, because when I would go to somebody's house and screw up and their AC was going to be off, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is all my fault. And then you here at this place that is like immensely more important. That's a lot of pressure right there, man. What were you thinking when that room went silent? What was like your first thought?
I've done emergency procedures. I've wrote some of the procedures of what we have to do in case this goes down. I actually wrote the sequence of, what you got to turn on, the buttons you turn on, what you got to turn on first. You got to make sure the primary and the cistern pumps are running before you turn the chiller on, or, and all this. But as soon as that happened, it was such, like you say, intense pressure. My brain just scrambled. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, it took me like 5 minutes to comprehend like what was going on and why, this shouldn't have happened, and why did I actually do it, or did did we just lose power? Did we? I just couldn't comprehend it. But then after, you just slow down and go, okay, wait a minute. I got this. Wait, all you got to do is just go over the second, because we have a 225,000 gallon cold water storage tank just for this. So that would keep us running for about an hour. With no chillers running, we could keep the servers cool for about an hour. With two, because what it'll do, as long as the secondary pumps are running,
Oh my gosh.
so I knew as long as I turned those secondary pumps on after I got, my mind back together, okay, get those secondary pumps on, and then we got time to find out what happened to the chillers. I knew it, because as soon as I hit it, I knew it was me. I knew it wasn't a lightning strike or, the power, because the generators didn't come on or anything like that. So it took me a little bit, but then I just slowly walked through, okay, I got this. But it was just my heart sunk. This is, we always talk about this. You can't have the chillers go down. And everybody takes so many precautions so this doesn't happen. And still this one little thing, the old program that got downloaded, slipped by and this happened, but there was no major damage.
Oh man. Well, good on you for getting through the situation. And even if you have an hour, I mean, I would feel like the bomb's going off in an hour unless I figure out this. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done. Maybe I'd just run out of the building and left and driven to Mexico or something like that.
And then what make it worse is that as soon as the alarms go out, the phones start to shift phone, because you always have the shift phone that, the higher ups could always call you. That starts ringing, and it's like, listen, hold on a minute. Let me get the secondary pumps running. Then we're going to find out. I don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. So you actually have to hand the shift phone to the next guy so I could figure out what's going on and get things back online. And while the other guy's going, well, we're working on it. We're seeing, we're doing, we'll get back with you. They don't want to hear that. When Pittsburgh calls, you don't say, oh, we'll get back with you. But some of the other guys, the other head guys, that, we don't answer to directly. They always call in and want to know what's going on. And we could say, we'll get back with you. But the mechanical guys, our bosses, we have to, because they know the system better than we do.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Just wanted to tell you that story. No damage, but made my heart sink.
That's a good story right there, and not in the positive sense of your life.
I got a couple other things. I want to shoot you a picture of a safety concern that I had. I took this picture. I'll talk about this later. I'll send you an email or something and send you the picture.
Yeah, do that so I can put it on the screen next time.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. I'll be back around on Thursday doing this again. If you shoot me the picture, you want to call back in, I'll be able to put the picture on the screen for you.
Oh, okay.
We can have some graphics to go along with the conversation.
Yeah, it's a quick little funny one.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see. Yeah. Whenever I first saw you in the chat long ago, it had some what is your name? Like Weaver Maintenance?
Yeah. I just did that because I've got some rental property and I do my own HVAC, and they always go, well, what company? So 25 years ago, they go, well, what's your so I opened up all these accounts under Weaver Maintenance. So that's my side gig, Weaver Maintenance Company.
Oh.
I mean, it's just me. It's not a company. It's just me. But I just retired, but I still do the Weaver Maintenance, residential, some commercial. I got about 6 restaurants I take care of. I don't travel. It's like if they want me to go, if I have to drive more than 15, 20 minutes, no, I can't make it. I don't want, so I got, the restaurant's real close to me. So that's not too bad. So
I like the plan. It was funny because when I first saw you, I assumed you were a maintenance technician at an apartment building. And this whole time is what I thought you did, like your whole career. But, you come along and you tell me about these, like when you started talking about the category 5, like the Ethernet cables and stuff, I'm like, what kind of apartment did this guy work at? And then I realized, no, that wasn't your job after all. it was much different. And it's interesting to hear the difference because contrasting it with what I first pictured you doing to what you actually did is quite a difference.
Yeah. Well, actually, what I did is I was a union electrician. So I started out as union electrician, and then I got my first rental property when I was like 20 years, 19 or 20. And so the air conditioner broke. Well, can't afford anybody. So I started learning. I go, oh man, I like this stuff. And it, HVAC is, 80%, 70, 80% electrical. You got to know electrical. So I knew electrical from being an electrician. And so I started doing HVAC on the side. I started buying. Now, they didn't have YouTube back then. So what I did is I went to the supply house, bought the book that they used in the HVAC school. I think it was West Side or West Tech. West Tech was our HVAC school around here in Cleveland, a big one. So I got the book and I started asking questions, and I would go on side jobs with these other HVAC guys, and I just slowly learned it, never formally trained. And then like 5 or 10 years into my electrical career, they're like, something we're working somewhere, and the HVAC, the rooftop unit's down. Oh, we'll have to wait. The guy can't get here till tomorrow. I said, well, I could probably fix it. So after about 2 or 5 years of, fixing I all of a sudden became the HVAC guy for the electrical contractor. And then the last about 14 or 15 years of my career, I got put in this data center. We did a big addition on, and then we went down to Cincinnati, did a big addition for this other data center, same bank that the story was about. And then I just stayed. They says, oh, we want to keep Weaver here. So the last 15 years of my career was at that data center doing the HVAC, the chillers, the electrical, a tech. They call them engineers, but they're not engineers. We weren't really like, when you say engineer, you think that someone's sitting there figuring out, all the size of switch gear and the chillers or feeds and the transfer switches and the UPS. Yeah. No, we're not doing that. We're changing filters. We're fixing rooftop units. And the funny thing is, they wouldn't let me touch in the cafeteria. They wouldn't let me touch the reach-in coolers, the walk-in cooler, the walk-in freezer, or any reach-in freezers, because they had a national contract with, I forget the name of the company, but I'm like, I could fix that. They go, nope, can't. We have a national contract.
Oh, can't.
So even though I do that on the side, fix freezers, walk-in, reach-ins, I couldn't touch them at the bank.
Yeah.
Or at the data center. So that was
a handy guy, Dave. That's what it sounds like. I'd hire you to fix my AC if it broke. I'd feel good about it and do it. But you wouldn't drive this far. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a drive.
Yeah.
But so that was my career. So I was like electrician all of my career, and then HVAC engineer, not engineer, it's really like a tech, HVAC tech at a data center for the last 15 years of my career, and working, basically did almost no electrical. It was just all about the HVAC, the chiller plants, the fire alarm systems. I did the fire alarm systems there, took care of them, broken smoke head. We'd have to shut the system off, bypass stuff, when people are doing certain things in the data center, because we had the Energen systems that we worked on. And I mean, there were just all sorts of systems we worked on.
You know what? I know what I want you to do is when you send me the picture on the email, like come up with like a few things, because I'd like to talk with you like on a specific subject, like go into a little bit more about what you did. Like, I don't know, you can imagine what we talk about on this show, like 2 or 3 things, because maybe we can have like a more, maybe you can actually come on the show and like we can see you while you're talking, like during the skill trade up, because you're brave enough to play. That would be fun, even if you're game.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay, yeah, send me your picture. It doesn't have to be Thursday. It can be Thursday for a while, but I'm about to put a nail in this one. So
okay,
that's pretty awesome. Yeah, don't forget the picture, and if you want to call back or appear on Thursday, we can do that too. You can check your schedule and put it in the same email if you so desire. That would be fine.
Okay. Okay, real good.
Well, thank you, Dave. I appreciate that, and I know we'll talk soon.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Bye. Good old Dave Weaver, man. There's so much more to him. You know, every now and then I'd peek over at our chat down there, which is a dysfunctional mess right now. But I'm going to come down there like a cleaver, and I'm going to cut away, take the cleaver to the chat, guys, and I'm gonna do that in just a second. So if you disappear unexpectedly, it's because you acted poorly, and I want to see you go bye-bye. So that's what's gonna happen there. So sorry, you may disappear, but no, I still love you. But I want an opportunity for the guys who want to chat in a normal way, in a productive way, to be able to do it. So to do that, we had to clear out the path. And I guess there's going to be no skilled trade up tonight. Well, no, there's a guy right there. Oh, man, why you got to pierce? It's been an hour. Nathaniel, here, I'm going to bring you in here for just a second. Hold on a second. Let's see. Oh, the mic is muted. Let me bring it over here and up here. I can see you there. I can see you. I can see you. Okay. Can you see me, though? Hello?
Yes, I can see you.
Oh, wow.
I have no idea what this thing is, but I did it, and now I'm on TV.
You're on TV now. You might be a little late, though. You might be a little late.
So I was here the whole time, but then I got caught up in that chat.
I looked down there. You just got there, but yeah, the chat is dysfunctional. I'm about to take a cleaver to the chat, but I just couldn't do it while we were talking. All right, let's see here. All right, since you're on the screen right now, man, I hate to just say you can't play, but it's 10-12, and it'll
That
take
is all right. I don't need to play. I don't want to embarrass myself.
No. Feel free to embarrass yourself, but maybe we could do it at the start of the show on Thursday. Can we do that?
Yeah, as long as I'm not working late,
Well,
I'll make it.
I'll tell you this. If you do work late on Thursday, then the start of the next show you're available for.
Actually, no, I won't be. And I was going to call in and ask this question. I have an interview on Thursday for a position at a community college to be a teacher, an HVAC instructor.
Ooh.
And I wonder if you had any advice, because that's an interview I've never done before.
Well, I tell you what, the closest I've ever been to becoming a teacher was when Bergman said I should move up to Ohio and take a job there, and I said, "No, I don't think so," because I wanted to live here. I just want to tell that story just so I could tell people that Bergman did ask me that. That's true. I did say no because I'm not leaving and going up there. But I don't know. You know, with the big thing with teaching is you got to have that firm grasp of communicating all those ideas you take for granted because you don't have to communicate them. You just know them and are able to do them. But being able to tell other people how to do the things that we do, I think that's the toughest part. That's what all of them keep talking about whenever they talk about teaching. So I don't know.
That's the thing I think I have. I'm pretty good at it. I was a math tutor. I like teaching. I teach at my current job. I make classes for people, for our installers and stuff. I like that. I've only been in the trade 4 years, but I have learned a lot.
Only in the trade
and
for
I
4
continue
years.
to learn.
Man, that's not a whole long time to be teaching, man.
It's not, but they wanted an interview. I think it's more of an assistant. I think it's more of the lab, but like I said, I am interested in the science behind the thing, so I feel like I'm pretty well knowledgeable, and where I'm not knowledgeable, I can be. I can get that. I can get there.
Well, there's a lot of advantage to that, being able to do that, just what you said, because that person's going to grow in knowledge very quickly, whereas someone who can't do that will not. Now, I'm gonna say this. Now, since I've been talking to you on here instead of over the phone, the audio is pretty horrendous. Yeah. I don't know why it is, but it'd be easier on the phone. So, do you mind us taking it up the next time you're on the air? Because I don't know that people can even understand it for the most part.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll let you know how it goes on Thursday, because it's Thursday at 4.
Yeah, absolutely do that. If you can make it on Thursday, then that'd be great. You can tell the story on air. And then we can play the game. So if you want to, you know how to get in hold of me, hvacshoptalk@gmail.com. You can let me know in advance. I'll give you the link to come on the show right at the beginning.
Sounds good.
All right, dude. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Yep.
All right, there's our buddy Nathan Crum, man. That's wild, man. That is wild. So he's going to go try to become a teacher, which is pretty awesome. And that's a screen. Wow, look, that's a beautiful tree right there. That's nice. What a lovely tree. Let's bring it back to the actual screen. There we are. Okay, so yeah, that's right, chat. I'm coming for you, and if you think I'm coming for you, you're right. I am indeed coming for you, and you're about to be cleaved. But I didn't want to do it during the show because that's rude. And Nathan, yeah, it's just hard to hear him, and I know that people on the podcast may not be able to understand him, so we're going to get him when we can actually talk to him. We can get him where we can hear him, and he can play the game, and that'll be a lot of fun. So we'll do that on Thursday. I know it's getting a little bit late right here, so I know skill trade-up's going to be another 20, 25 minutes a lot of times, especially if you're successful while playing. So I think we'll save it for Thursday. I really appreciate it, guys. I think there's nothing else to talk about here. We didn't get to all of our different slides, but that's okay because we got some great calls from Weaver. We had Isaiah call in, and now I'm going to go back to the front of the show. Joe Shearer called in, so a lot of fun. We'll be back on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I might try to do 8:45, so if we do run long, it's not quite as bad, and then we'll be back on Sunday after that. So I hope you guys have a safe work week. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see you on the next one.